Heather. I want to welcome you to my channel. After a lot of research, a lot of SketchBox unboxings on YouTube, I decided that I was going to sign up for a 1-year subscription. So at the time I was signing up, they had the option of signing up at a certain level and getting a grab bag worth various amounts of money. If you did a 1-year subscription, you would get a $200 grab bag, plus. And so I did, and I'm curious now to see, is it $200 worth of items that I feel like I would use on a regular basis, or is it $200 worth of items that maybe are slightly damaged, or things that I will swatch out once and never touch again. So I'm going to do some swatching. I'll fast forward through this and play some music, and then at the end I'm going to total up the value and let you know what it was worth. All right, thanks so much for watching. Okay, so the first item is a 6-pan Derwent charcoal paint pan set. Now I do have the 12-pan set already. Honestly, I don't use it that much, but it is tucked away. Here I am stamping with a Art Foamy swatching set that will hopefully be coming out next January. It's a series of swatching stamps for watercolor pans and also for Rolodex cards. So the next item is the Faber-Castell charcoal sketch set. I don't have anything similar to this, so this is going to be great. It comes with a medium and soft charcoal pencil as well as white, and then a blending tool and some charcoal sticks and a kneadable eraser. It didn't come with a pencil sharpener. That pencil sharpener was mine. And then I threw some water on there to see kind of what it does when it gets wet. And the next item is Holbein ink. It comes in Naphthol Red Light. I don't use a lot of red, so I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use this, so I decided to add a little bit of white and then add a little bit more white and a little bit more white to see how the color changes once I add another color. So I do think probably I'll be blending this with something else. This is a brush that came. It's a SketchBox brush. It's a 3/4 inch dagger and a number 4 round on the other side, and I'm using my Art to Basic paints here. And it's a nice brush. I wish it wasn't double-sided, but it's a cool brush. Next is the Olo Cool Gray alcohol marker, and then a 4-piece set of the Marabou fine liners. I haven't used Marabou before, and so this is the first time. Next are the beam paints. Here's another one of the swatchy stamps, and these paints I really did like. And they're a little bit muted, which I do enjoy, and then the gray has a little sparkle to it. This paint parallel pen 6mm is a calligraphy pen. I struggled with this. You'll see that I really struggled to get the ink out, get the instructions out. I'm trying to fiddle with it. I do end up putting it aside and then coming back to it at the end. You're not supposed to move it back and forth, which I did. I don't know if that was the issue. I think that the nib just needed to be cleaned in order to be used for the first time. Who knows what's in there, but that did do the trick, and I did do that at the end in it, and it flowed pretty well. You see my frustration, then it started to leak out. I think that's pretty much where I figured I'm giving up. It's leaking. Yeah. The next thing is the Inktense pencils. It came with a pack of 6, and I do have some Inktense pencils. I don't think in these colors, so that was pretty cool. So I'm swatching them out, and then I'm going to add some water because I do use a lot of water and mixed media, and so I wanted to make sure I knew what this looked like when it was wet and everything else too. That's why I added the water to the charcoal, and I added water to the ink at the end as well. The next thing is Faber-Castell 5-piece set. It's 4 pencils and then a white soft pencil. The other pencil I got earlier was I think medium white, so this is a soft white. So I'm swatching them out, and then I add some of the white too. I put some black Posca, and then I put water on the fine liners too. Those are not permanent, by the way. So here's some watercolor paper that we got. It's paper Portofino Magnani. It's 100% cotton. Very cool paper. I'll do a video at the end kind of showing how everything dried. And then here's an Inktense paint pan set. Again, usually comes in a set of 12, and this is like a sample set of 6. And it's a yellow, I think it's a magenta, blue, green, kind of a rusty color, and then a Payne's gray. And these were really nice paints. Then we got some vellum, and this is very different from the vellum I've worked with before. So I did put some watercolors down and and spritz with some water, and I'll show you in comparison to some of the other vellum I have at home. This is a Fine Tech dark teal watercolor. I believe it's like an iridescent watercolor, which I don't use a lot of. So I kind of struggled to figure out how to use it. Do I add a lot of pigment? I wasn't sure if I'd let it sit or not. And here's some refills for the pen, which was kind of funny because the pen that I can't get to work, now I have more ink. But I got out my phone, looked it up on the internet to see what I might be doing wrong. It did mention cleaning it when the ink's not flowing. So I got out that little thing that looks like a razor blade and just kind of played with it. It was challenging to get a... Okay, so here's the final walkthrough of my swatching. And I also went online and I found out what the retail value of everything is. So we have the Derwent paint pen set retails, the full set retails at $25, so I did $12.50. The Faber-Castell $16.25. Holbein ink $13.95. The round brush SketchBox sells those on their website for $15.09. And the alcohol markers, I could only find where they sell them in packs of 3, so I did $5.66 each. The Marabou fine liner, this is definitely not waterproof, which is good to know now. So if I do use it in mixed media, I make sure that I do it at the very end when everything is dry, or maybe I want something to bleed. $9.99 for the 4-pack. The Beam paints, I was really excited to try these. I've been wanting to try them, but they are pricey. They sell a 3-pack on their website for $35. And the 3-pack is the small one like I got. The Inktense paint pan set, again, they sell it in a full pan set, normally of 12. And so this was $21 for 6. The Fine Tech dark teal, that's what it looks like when it's dry. It's kind of gray, and then you have hints of blue. And that each one of those pans sells for $10.10. The Pilot refills $4.10. The paper Portofino, and there's a glare here, and I'm sorry, I can't really get a good picture of it. This is a fabulous watercolor paper, and after it dried, I looked to see where I could find it, and so this is what it comes in, a 4x6 pad, 100% cotton, 140 pounds, hot pressed, and I don't use a lot of hot pressed, so maybe that's why I'm not used to a watercolor paper that's so smooth. But man, I just really love the way it looks when it dries. And so SketchBox sells this little palette on their website for $7.19, or you can buy it on the internet for not much more. Jerry sells a 6x6 for $10.69. A 9x12, which is what I usually work on, is a 9x12, is $43. So this is an expensive watercolor. So what's nice about doing a SketchBox box like this is you get to try a product out before you spend $43 on 20 sheets of watercolor paper. The vellum is $12.99. I was able to find that online. And so I wanted to show you, this is what the brand is Clear Print. This is what the Clear Print looks like with the watercolor on it. And I really did love the way that it moved with the water and the way that it took like an ink pen. This is the vellum that I have been using. I wrote personal, it's my personal vellum. And it's definitely more plasticky. And when I put watercolor paint on, which is the same watercolor paint here, it's definitely looks more like a marker versus a watercolor, which is fine if that's the look you're looking for, but I tend to want to use papers more like watercolor versus markers. So I'm going to put this in my little swatch book. I'm creating a little swatch book for SketchBox, and I'm going to put this in there so I remember. It's a comparison. And then the Pilot Parallel pen, my arch nemesis, is $14.13 for the pen. The Inktense pencils are $22.49 for a set of 6. The Faber-Castell pencils with the 4 black, gray, graphite with the white soft is $15. And then this is just a little swatch. So overall, when I added it all together, let me get my total out, it was $215.35. So definitely $200 plus, and a great way of trying out new products before I go and I buy a whole bunch of something and then I don't end up using it. So I am going to create a little notebook of all my sketch boxes every month. So I have a little swatch and I will track to see what I use. I'm working on a cover. I used the watercolors and I made a little loose floral, and I'm going to cut it down and I'm going to do some collage on it too. I made colored some tissue paper with the watercolors as well. What did I do with those? Here. Colored a bunch of tissue paper with the watercolors. I just had, this is medical exam paper, and some of it I have been using as under paper, so that's why it has stains on it. But I did some watercolor, and I'm going to do some collage and make myself a little cover. All right, well, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.